This is Off the Break Podcast, presented by Silver Screen Insider.
And welcome back to Off the Break Podcast. I'm Codi. With me are Kyle and Erik.
Codi is back.
Hello.
I'm back, and you are not Codi. You're Kyle.
Yes. Oh, you caught that part.
Of course, I got
Sure,
that
everybody.
part.
How can you not catch that part?
I just didn't know if you were able to catch up on that episode or not.
Part of me was
yeah.
like, do we want to start this over? And I'm like, no.
No.
I'm just going to let Kyle sit
Oh,
with this.
at that point, I just figured might as well lean into it. It's definitely a Kyle
I
show.
feel like Erik threw you under the bus a little bit.
No, not at all. I'm glad that we went with it. It was really funny. Great way
Yeah.
to start the show, but I just felt like an idiot for a split second. I was like, whatever.
It was entertaining to me.
Yeah, it
Eric's
was
like, I'm
entertaining
glad-
for me, too.
Glad it wasn't me.
Eric's like, I'll be the professional one here, and Kyle will screw it up
I
again.
would hate to take over the hosting duty.
Yeah, as you can see, it's very tough, which is why we have Codi do it. She does it
Yeah.
much better than me.
Well,
No, I'm glad you got that, though. It was a lot of fun.
yeah, of course I listen to our podcast. I sometimes listen to it even when I'm in it. Like, I go back and it's really good.
Mhm.
It almost lasts half
I
the
remember when.
half the drive to the cabin on the weekends. So
Right,
It's
right.
good.
Oh, yeah.
I enjoy it. So yeah, I definitely caught the last one and your fumble at the beginning.
Yeah.
But I'm back now. I had a great trip, visited a client, and saw an amazing new theater. So, and got to watch Hobbs Shaw as it's meant to be in Dolby Atmos and in laser projection.
Awesome.
I want to
bet that was
hear
awesome.
every individual bullet
Yeah.
that is shot, piercing people's super armor.
Instead of the whisper of a bullet.
Yeah, or just the
What's going on?
Yeah.
I can't hear.
But how was the movie, though? How'd you like it?
I loved
Hobbs
it.
and
It's
Shaw.
exactly what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Anybody that says it's bad or anything, they just are like, have you not seen any of the other 8 Fast and Furious movies? Do you not know what you're getting into?
Yeah.
Actually, the theater had said that some people walked out after the massacre in where was it? El Paso.
Yeah.
After that, and they said that they
Oh,
just
yeah.
couldn't take all the gunfire. And I'm like, well, you didn't realize that's
think
what
that
is
would
part
be-
of a Fast and Furious movie?
Right.
Like, maybe you should have picked made a better decision. There's no way you couldn't have not known, given that there's 8 other movies out there.
Yeah.
If you've seen any of the
That's
trailers,
disappointing that they had to walk out,
or the
though.
posters or anything.
Yeah.
I think at the time they just weren't. Maybe at the time they just weren't thinking about, and then I don't know.
Maybe they had their
Impact
tickets
and,
months in advance.
Well, I don't know. But I'm just spitballing on possibilities.
Yeah.
So
But
that's strange, but also kind of a bummer too.
otherwise, it was the man meat fest that I was hoping it would be.
The man meat just makes it sound gross.
Oh, it makes it sound yummy.
Oh,
That makes it sound gross.
but
Well, I'm
no,
glad you had a
had
good theatrical experience.
I
Yeah,
thought Vanessa Kirby was awesome in it. She was so
great.
badass.
Yeah.
I just loved her.
Mm-hmm.
Loved her character. So I really enjoyed it. Idris Elba was a good villain. You can tell at the end he was conflicted and then he was betrayed. Love it. Love it all. Who do
Yeah,
you
'cause
think?
there was like a secret ultimate villain,
Who do you think
right?
is the voice?
I don't know.
I think it's
don't know
Charlize
what we're
Theron.
talking about.
I was hoping it was Ryan Reynolds as like a bait and switch.
Yeah, that would have been awesome. He was
'Cause he
so
makes
good in it too.
Yeah, because he makes a surprise cameo.
he does.
I figure it's okay to say now.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds makes a cameo in it, and it's awesome.
Yeah,
If
he
you
does
like,
a good job.
sort of like his Deadpool humor, but but agent that's like a buddy cop thing.
Hmm.
But he plays to his daughter, The Rock's daughter in it.
Yeah,
Just love it for some reason.
yeah. But she was really good too. That young actress.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, it was good entertainment. That's for sure. It's
I think
what the summers are meant for.
I totally
Good
think
old fashioned fun.
that the voice at the head of the evil organization is Charlize Theron. Because did she die in the end of the?
No,
eighth
but
one?
she's coming back for the 9th ones. But I don't know
Exactly.
why. But I don't know why you'd hide the voice when we already know she's a villain in
Because
the
you
last
didn't know
one.
her true villainy.
But why is that a secret for the
Villainy.
audience though?
I don't know.
That wouldn't. I don't know.
I
I don't
would-
think that bait and switch would make much sense.
I would think it kind of sounded like her though.
Really? Because it was like a very
Garbly.
Was that one
garbly
of those,
deep
like,
voice.
just masked
Yeah.
robotic type voices?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was pretty much just robot type voice. So who knows? Maybe it is, but
I haven't-
I'm just thinking why would that be like a surprise
Well, do you think it's
reveal?
somebody from the other movies that's coming back? Or do you think it's
Probably
just a whole new
not.
person that...
Unless if it's Vin Diesel or Tyrese Gibson trying to get out The Rock, but
Definitely Vin
because
Diesel.
they hate the guy apparently. But no, I don't know who it. I have no idea who it
Huh,
is.
weird.
In the end, it's Fast and Furious. I don't have too much stock in.
You never
what
would have thought it was
happens.
such a thinking man's movie.
Oh, it totally is. It's the think piece everyone never
I
expected.
just love how they throw out, they give you timelines for storytelling purposes. Like, she only has 3 days before she goes and the virus like escapes her body and kills everybody.
Yeah.
But the chain of events takes longer
You
than 3
know
days.
it's been a week.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the
3
magic of
days. Well, that's why it's Fast and Furious. You have to be fast to
Right.
save Vanessa Kirby, I guess.
In like
I don't know. There's something
48
there.
hours, but it's ridiculous how long like this stuff takes to set up, and then you're like, that was longer. She should probably be at least exhibiting some sickness. So not right about now, but no, she's perfectly healthy.
No, that could have added some tension. She's like
Yeah,
deteriorating.
she's starting to cough up blood and stuff. Like, I want to
We're
really,
running out of time.
because she's supposed to like melt from the inside out.
Sure.
So she should be coughing
Ew.
up blood by the time end of the movie. I did like how he went
If
home.
Fast and Furious were to ever follow how illnesses work,
Yeah.
because it's so in touch with realism,
I
then
would-
make the movie
she would be
better.
coughing up blood.
Every action or suspense movie is better with a ticking clock element.
Not only did they not
True.
stick to like the 48 or 72 hour time frame, but she somehow managed to always take a shower and do her makeup in between like
Gotta look
action
good when you're
pieces.
If
saving
I'm
the
saving the
world.
world, I'm gonna look good doing it.
If I
The
have-
guys don't
I
sweat.
get it.
She doesn't
If I
ever
have
look anything other than perfect.
that's
either.
true. The guys don't sweat, and she always has the cat eye makeup on, cat eye eyeliner. It just works for her.
Just saying, I get it. I
I
relate.
don't know if I was dying from a virus that I self-injected that will literally melt my insides. And the scientist who created it was like, we better just kill her and burn the body. Maybe I wouldn't worry about my makeup at that point. But I'm just different gal.
Some people like the tensions to be high and to look good doing it. So
I guess if my
makes
body
sense
was
to me.
gonna be burned, I'd want to look the best possible.
But if millions of people across the world were watching you save the world, then you'd probably want to look good.
I don't care how I'd look if I was saving the world.
Erik gets
I
it.
would be saving the world. I don't think it matters.
Yeah, but if you didn't look your best, people would be like, she's. What did you describe that guy in the Kingsman trailer?
Oh, Cody calls him a real uggo.
Uggo.
Yes, a real
you
uggo.
did.
That's what you did.
I
Like,
didn't.
You're like,
I didn't say those
I
words.
wish he was prettier.
This person did save the world, but I don't really like how much of an uggo they are.
Say the word. That is Kyle putting the word uggo in my mouth.
That's
Pretty sure I heard
basically
the
what
word
you
uggo.
said.
I did not say it like that. I just said that I'm like, oh, he could be better. Like
You almost
could be
said
better
it right now.
looking. I said, he could be better looking, and then he looks really young, like a baby, like
An
lanky
ugly baby. That's hard to come
Disgusting,
by.
Filthy, irredeemable baby.
Cody, 2019. Well, despite how pretty they all looked, it still was entertaining as all heck.
Yeah.
It's a
it had
summer
such
movie.
good one-liners in it too.
There was a lot, yeah.
I just left feeling so good and pumped.
Yeah.
So, and I love Helen Mirren at the end. Like, let's get out of here.
Yeah, Helen Mirren needs to be in those movies a lot longer
Yeah.
than just her small scenes because she's just cool.
She's so
Mm-hmm.
good.
She's just a badass in her own right.
So I had seen the movie in one of my clients' theaters that is a luxury upscale experience. So it doesn't have traditional seating. It has all custom furniture. It takes that movie parlor, movie lounge concept to the next level. We had such good food while we were there.
Yeah.
It was amazing. I mean, like salmon and steak and handmade homemade pasta that's made in the theater.
I love
Ooh,
pasta.
like cranking that thing,
Yeah.
stretching it out.
Like all the desserts
Dang.
were really good. They have popcorn. They have like a smaller popcorn machine because that's not the point of the menu is popcorn there. But they would put like dried honey dust on it and stuff. So they had like really
It's very
Crazy.
exotic.
toppings. Yeah. So
movie theater butter flavor.
they had real butter to put on the popcorn.
It's upscale, Eric.
Yeah,
Meh.
they're not going to put like nuclear fake butter on
But that's
it.
what we like. That's what people like.
Says you.
Yeah, I don't put butter on mine because I do at home, but I melt real butter to put it on at home.
Well, geez, that would be nice to go to. It's cool that more theaters are starting to do that.
Yeah.
Just to differentiate themselves.
I just think that that's kind of the future because it really felt like a really special night out.
Yeah.
And
that's what it should
I saw
feel
Once
like.
Upon a Time in Hollywood. That's
Oh,
totally
yeah.
not a
Oh,
movie
right.
that I would probably normally see, but I really enjoyed it and felt that strangely it had a happy ending that I
Oh,
actually
super happy
liked.
ending.
Yeah, it works out.
And I totally enjoyed the flamethrower scene, and I didn't think I would. But I did, and I laughed my butt off during it.
Good.
Everybody in the
Good.
theater both times I saw it. It's like the most intense, grisly violence going on, and everyone's like, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Like
really when
cheering
the theater.
along.
That's really when like half the theater wakes up because there's the half that are really digging the movie and there's the other half that are like like
I
they're
want
thinking it's
violence.
fun. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's definitely where, for my theater too, that's where everyone
I
lights
just
up.
thought his shuffle, like after being in the pool and the shuffle to the pool house was like set you up for it to be really funny. And then he comes out with a flamethrower and then
Yeah.
he gets that hippie chick with it in the pool.
Mm-hmm.
She never just ducks down in the water. She just takes it.
She was probably dead anyways.
Yeah.
Like her face was caved in.
A lot of stuff
Her
happened.
teeth were like
Just
inside
like
her
how
brain.
he's like, I torched her in the pool.
Hopefully
Oh,
hopefully
so
that
good.
what we just said alone sells more people to go see it.
Yeah. Oh my
That's
gosh.
great.
They're like, if that happens at the end of the 3-hour long movie, sign me up.
I was surprised. I still don't think he should do a Star Trek film, but I really enjoyed this one.
Well, yeah, sounds like you had a lot of good movies and good time at those.
Oh, yeah.
At that theater.
And I just think that that's the future of theaters, that they need to be a little smaller. I don't want to go and have like 200 screens or
Yeah.
20 or 30 screens. I just want to
200
go.
screens.
Well, yeah. You know what I mean.
Yeah,
Like,
I know what you mean.
Huge lawn hallways where
No,
it's-
I mean that's kind of like the experience I had when I went back home. There's like a local art house theater
Uh-huh.
that's kind of getting revamped. They must have had a lot of donations come in or something because it's like a community run thing. But this time I went back, the seats were like totally new. They were like some of the nicest seats I've ever sat in. It sounded amazing. I was like, whoa, this is the way to do it. There's only like
Right.
3 screens there, and it's very much like a. You can tell the people who go there because they like really care and love movies.
Mhm.
So they're not gonna be the obnoxious people who are like munching on their stuff or talking throughout
Right.
the movie. Everyone's there for the same reason.
Mm.
Yeah. No, I like that experience a lot. I liked wrapping up in the little blankie, sitting on this really cool chase lounge and having my cocktail while I watched the film. It was awesome. I'm thinking about wanting to go back for Star Wars. Like, I just don't know if I could bring
I don't
myself to
blame
watch
ya.
Star Wars here now.
Don't
I
blame
know.
you one bit.
Well, I got to get out of here when that time comes. I will not see that on this stereo front speakers through the screen door
Dark
picture
screen.
quality.
Horrible sprung seats.
All that
Ugh.
you're describing, I had to do 3 times this week.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
today,
Kyle's busy seeing
yeah.
some pretty average
Yeah, there
movies.
was movies I had to catch up on.
Yep. Kyle's been going to the film since Eric's been gone vacationing, and I've been just getting back from a work trip. So,
Yeah.
Kyle, tell us about the movies you've been seeing.
Yeah, what 3 movies did you see?
I saw The Kitchen first. No, that's not true. I saw Blinded by... No, that is true.
You saw
Sorry.
The Kitchen
The
first.
Kitchen first, and
Yeah.
then Blinded by the Light, because they had an early screening of it for the Springsteen fans that never showed up. And then Good Boys yesterday. Those were the 3 I
Nice.
saw.
Yeah, you saw Good Boys yesterday, not the movie yesterday.
Correct.
Okay.
Ah.
Uh-huh.
Correct. Just for
Okay.
that
All
clarification.
right, let's start with The Kitchen, because that's been out and been pretty eviscerated by the critics. But
Oh,
is
yeah.
it as bad as everybody's saying it is, Kyle?
I don't think it's as bad as the critics are making it out to be. That being said, I do think it is a
Not
bad
very
movie.
good.
It's not very good. But I could recognize parts in the movie to where had the director done, who is also the writer. She's written stuff such as Straight Outta Compton, and this is her first time directing. So it wasn't a bad job for her directing wise with making like shots look good enough and whatnot. But when it comes to organizing like a narrative structure and to be able to piece together storylines, I think she kind of fell flat on that despite writing the script. But I think could have been easy fixes for her if she just had more time to be able to focus on writing up her dialogue and her story structures a bit better, and then maybe taking care of a few editing problems that could have really helped flesh out scenes that were actually pretty good scenes, but just were taken away by terribly set up montages or terribly set up scenes that, you know, are trying to show, not tell, but they're not showing anything worth watching, so it makes the movie feel longer. So
I wonder if this is just an issue with writers, because you would think that they would be really good at narrative structure and building, being a writer.
Yeah.
But I wonder if
Probably an editing thing.
Yeah, I just wonder
majorly
if
it's an editing
being
thing, but
able-
this is also
yeah.
her first time directing, so
Right. I wonder if being able to write, though, say a screenplay or a novel or something else in the longer format is just a whole different skill set than trying to take that and visually
Entirely
cut it down.
oh, 100%.
And I wonder if like J.K. Rowling has this issue with the Fantastic Beasts movies,
She's got
because
a lot of issues with Fantastic
she's
Beasts.
well, she's had so much
Eric and
more
I have talked about that.
input into it, and I
Yeah.
just don't think that as a writer they're able to dissect what the importance of maybe like shortening a scene, and maybe that's
No, a lot of times, I mean, you have to kill your darlings, and a lot of times
yeah.
they don't want to or they can't. And
I feel like Fantastic Beasts definitely suffers from that.
oh, yeah. But no,
That's
like
a whole
Kyle
nother
said, since
ball
she
game.
wrote this
Right.
one, you know, I mean, yeah, Straight Outta Compton was pretty well written, but not everybody, just because they wrote one good movie doesn't mean everything they write's going to be good.
Right.
Oh, true.
Probably just a combination of this just really not being that great to begin with. Maybe she directed it, but maybe she couldn't separate the fact that she wrote it from what she wanted to see or what
Yeah.
should have been shown. And then editing is always, it's the most like unknown or
It's not the most thought
noticed
Yeah.
thing by
Noticed, yeah.
audiences, but yeah, when you break it down, editing can make or break a movie.
Right.
Oh yeah, for sure. I also wonder if, because The Kitchen is based off of a DC Vertigo graphic novel, so I wonder if maybe transferring source material from graphic novel to a screenplay also didn't really work out for her as much as she would like. I haven't read the graphic novel, so I can't really say on whether that's the case or not, but that could be a possibility for the script to not being the potential
Like she didn't
hit
have
that
a-
it could have.
have enough to work with, because visually a graphic novel I would think
No,
would be
not enough
easier
to not enough to work with, but just
I don't know. I mean,
figuring out how to incorporate all the details that go into a graphic novel to be able
Yeah.
to turn it into a script format.
well, the
the-
mediums
again,
are
those
so
are
different.
very different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the graphic novel, unless you're like Watchmen and you try and shot for shot recreate the panels of the comic,
Yeah.
they rarely
Yeah.
ever do that. But the whole point of a graphic novel is, you know, the way the pictures are framed and set up and combined with the dialogue, or if there's like those inner monologue speech bubbles, they all come together and they tell stories in ways you can't with movies.
Right.
So there's a huge, you know, process in adapting that might have just tripped her up.
Yeah. Just a thought though. I haven't read the graphic novels. So I can't really speak as that being a cause for it, but it's a possible cause anyway. But yeah, that being said, I wouldn't call this the worst movie of 2019, as I've seen a lot of critics making it out to be. I mean, it's not
Is
good.
it one of the worst?
Sure, but even
top 10 of the worst.
sure if you want, but even still, like again, I was able to find parts of it that were at least good enough to where I could be able to watch through it without
We
getting
were-
too
we
angry.
were trying
So
to
I
figure
don't
out-
know. I just didn't get
Yeah.
as bad of a time with it as
Will you ever watch it again?
no, but
Will you still be thinking about it in a week?
in a week, no, for sure. But I'll definitely be thinking more about how it had the potential to be good, but no, it just misses the mark on it to be good. That's
We were
for sure.
trying to come up with earlier what if there were worse movies out there this year, And
Hellboy's way worse. Probably.
we all kind of landed on Hellboy. What was another one that we?
I really, really, really didn't like Cold Pursuit, and I saw that
Right.
twice just to see if maybe I
You
was
missed
missing something, and I liked it even
I
less
forgot
the
you saw
second
that
time.
twice.
I
That's
really
a
didn't
bummer
like
because you were
that.
really kind of looking forward to that one.
I didn't like.
I didn't really like. Stuber was not very good.
Yeah, I didn't see Stuber.
I mean, it was okay. It just wasn't what like I think it could have been funnier.
Glass wasn't very good. I forgot about Glass.
Yeah,
Oh,
Glass
yeah.
is probably one of the weaker movies of the year.
Especially coming from Split and
Yeah.
Unbreakable,
True.
which
Yeah,
I thought were
that's-
great.
That's definitely part of it. I don't know. This year hasn't been too bad for finding
Yeah, but I feel like a
really
movie-
bad movies.
Yeah,
like
well,
it's
I
been
think
pretty
that's
solid.
Really, any year, unless a movie is like spectacularly horrible for lots of memorable reasons,
like so bad.
most
it's
of the time
good,
they just
or-
fade away. You know,
Right.
Like
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
not good, so you're not gonna think about them, and they just kind of dissipate.
Unless if it's a comic book movie that ends up being bad, then everyone has to riot in the streets instead of just letting it fade away.
Yeah, and then it
I guess
always
The
fades
Kitchen
away.
though, that's a comic book movie, so that's gonna fade away.
Yeah,
But
What
yeah,
about
that's
Blinded
all.
by the Light.
Yeah.
That's all I got for Kitchen. Blind by the Light. You guys wanna?
Yeah. Tell us
Yeah, you
about
gotta
that
go
one.
through all three of them.
Okay.
Now they did screen this at CinemaCon this last year, but I wasn't able to see it. I had a dinner to go to, so
Yeah.
tell me about it because I
Were there
did
a lot of
really want to see it.
People there, I forgot about the fact that it was like an early show, like not just
No.
the early show, like a special.
Yeah, it was a special screening that dedicated like about 20 minutes to explaining the writer and director ending up working together to come up with this movie because the movie
like a pre-thing before the movie started.
yeah, just to give some explanation on how this movie came to light, no pun intended. And so basically the writer is a journalist called Safraz Manzoor, and he grew up in Britain becoming a fan of Bruce Springsteen, and you know that's really unheard of, especially during the 80s
'Cause he's
where a lot
of-
of the younger kids weren't really
like,
fans of Bruce
yeah,
Springsteen.
it's
He's
lame
also
dad
of-
music.
Yeah,
Well, isn't he also of Pakistani descent?
Yes.
So there's also that.
There's also
element
that,
as
too.
well in
There's
Britain.
a big cultural divide.
definitely.
It's a huge
Definitely.
cultural
And
divide.
I'm glad you brought that up too,
Yeah.
because that plays a huge role. But basically, that short little documentary was just saying up like, here's why I made this movie, because this movie was about me and this was
Yeah.
my story. And the director
You better like it.
became friend. Yeah,
If you don't like it, then you're a bad person.
the director became friends with the writer, and they decided they wanted to make this movie, and
'Cause
they
he
were able to get a
actually-
hold of Bruce Springsteen to have him give the go ahead to be able to use his music, because that plays a big role in the movie. So that 20 minutes was pretty fun to watch and gave a bit more insight.
'Cause he
but it
wrote-
was sad that there weren't more people
Well,
to.
Didn't the
you know,
writer write
see
a
that.
book about actually going around America and following Bruce Springsteen?
Yeah,
I thought
he's
it's
been to
based
like
on that.
Yeah.
over 80 of his concerts or
Yeah,
something
he
like that.
actually,
Something
like,
crazy.
Like a groupie. Just
Yeah.
went around and followed him and then he wrote about it.
Yeah, because he was just that much of a fan because Bruce Springsteen's music just touched him so much, and that's really what I think this movie works
us
so
all.
well
I
is
don't-
that it's not played up as like, oh, it's a musical, so let's use this band's music, or it's not used as it's not used as like a biopic of Bruce Springsteen. It's instead telling a story of how a musician's art can touch a person even if there's like no direct connection. Like even someone from Britain who comes from Pakistani descent who you would initially not think can relate to music about the working American man, but yet he still is able to find a way to be able to connect with that music, and there's something kind of empowering because it reminds people like, oh, I listen to music that people may not think I can relate to, but I can.
It's because music is magic.
Exactly. Music is magic. And this movie definitely does play that up too. Like there's so many uplifting magical moments to where, yes, it will make you roll your eyes, but then it's so infectious with how feel good it is that you'll end up being like, all right, like he's happy. He has Bruce Springsteen. Let's catch him a break. So, but it still does a good well of playing up those magical moments while going back to the real world where he has to deal with, a strict father figure who's trying to have his son become a businessman, silver writer, and he has to deal with the racism that's a part of his everyday life. He has to deal with people making fun of him for liking Springsteen in the first place, but It's just a story about growing up and finding your true passions and your true self through the most unlikely list of lanes. And I think that's really why the movie is so good, is because it hits that message home really well.
Is it better than you think Yesterday?
Yeah.
Because we've had a lot of like
for
these
sure.
music movies this year,
Mhm.
but they're all feel good, which is great for the box office.
Yeah.
But do you think it's better than Yesterday? Because when you talked to us about the ending on Yesterday, where it doesn't go back, it just stays in the world where he's the only one that knows the Beatles music. I thought that idea ruined the movie a little bit.
Well, the movie Yesterday was trying to kind of do what Blind by the Light does, where it shows how the Beatles is so universally loved despite who plays the music.
Uh-huh.
I just don't think it really hit that message that well, but I still enjoyed the movie for what it was, which was a feel-good type of story.
Right.
As I've unabashedly have been the past year, I've come to realize, but I think Blind by the Light does that message a lot better, and it's a lot more personal. And I think if people gave this more of a chance, but I don't think they will. I think it will fall under the radar quite a bit this weekend. I think people would end up liking this story because of that.
I love the director's other film, Bend It Like Beckham.
Yeah.
That is one of my favorite movies. It's just so cute and feel good. It has a really young Keira Knightley in it.
Mm-hmm. I forgot she was in that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But the director does a very good job understanding that personal story and making it into a film adaptation.
Yeah. Well, and it's not just a story about somebody of Pakistani descent, because I think they use universal themes, at least in Bennett Like Beckham, they did use universal themes to make it like a story anybody could relate
That's
to.
a good point too, because it does so here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm excited. I really did want to see this one. I was bummed I missed out on the screening of it because it actually looked really good.
Yeah, once I came to the screening, because I figured there would at least be, some Bruce Springsteen fans coming to this or whatever. There wasn't too many people, so it kind of gave me a sign of like, oh, maybe it is going to get pushed under the radar quite a bit, which would be
how
very
many people are going
unfortunate.
to find out about? I didn't even know there was an early screening of it.
I didn't know until Kyle said something, but I couldn't.
He's like, oh yeah, apparently
Go
it's
to
coming
it.
here tomorrow. I was like, what?
Yeah, so I think
but
finding out about that is tricky, but and a lot of critics have wondered, because it is being distributed by Warner Brothers, and Kitchen was distributed by Warner Brothers, and usually Warner Brothers is really good at marketing the films near the end, but they wondered if it wasn't going to produce as well as, or be a box office draw and be a like kind of a failure like The Kitchen was to some extent. I don't think it'll
office wise, yeah.
I think it'll do better than The Kitchen. I think people just want feel good movies, and I think The Kitchen was just this more of the kind of this mirror of what's going on in politics and like life, and they want to escape that. So I kind of think Blinded by the Light will do better.
Sure, it could do better opening weekend, but I just have a feeling it could not be able to hang on at the box office for very long.
Well, what's coming out with it?
Let me check the release
I
date.
think it's 47 meters and
That's this week,
there's
right?
Angry Birds
and Angry
2,
Birds, which
Good Boys,
came out, and Good Boys.
Where'd You Go, Bernadette? But there's also still Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Dora, Scary Stories, Lion King, Fast and Furious. I just
It might be tough, yeah.
I think it's going to be really tough. I hope that it pulls like a Yesterday and it still hangs around and ends up.
I'm sure, because after
That's what I'm hoping for, but I just don't. I don't know. I think it's a bit too crowded.
There's nothing really coming out the 30th. There's some more films on the 23rd. Nothing really on the 30th of August, and so you're really the next big week is It Chapter 2.
Yeah.
But after that, it's getting pretty lean.
But
We're
I think
into the fall,
by the
so.
time that weekend rolls around, it's just going to be forgotten.
I think it'll play off in small towns by then. That's when I'm targeting it for all my small towns, is to play opposite of It, because it's
that doesn't make me feel much better.
Well, it's rated R and this is PG-13, and so you got to get something in there that's not an R.
Sure. Well, I don't know. That's just my guess anyway. But hopefully it does do better than what I'm thinking.
Glad you enjoyed it though.
Yes, and I
fun.
hope everyone else does too.
I like the 20-minute. Like, I wish more films would have some of those screenings ahead of time to build.
Sometimes I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm cynical, but I feel like when I was saying earlier, it's like they're trying to get you like in the right mood for the movie, so you kind of feel like you have to like it. You know, it's like this movie is about my life, and it's true, and it's honest. It's who I am. So that's like, if you don't like that movie, it's like you don't like my life. Like,
Yeah,
you think
I
I have a
don't.
boring story?
You do. Not in this case. But I think that's more to do with the Bruce Springsteen music. Because it is a little weird that he just follows this guy around. Like, I don't think I love anything fandom-wise that much that I'd see it 80 times. Like,
It touched his life, man.
Maybe he has nothing else to do.
do you guys have something that you would see? I don't even have bands that I've seen more than maybe twice.
No, I don't have big fandoms. I like a lot of things, but I don't participate in fandoms.
In like loyalty and this like
Yeah.
love of them. The
The Marvel
I don't
movies for
either.
me. Like, if I am able to see them more than twice, I can.
I know, but 80 times. Like, would you?
No, I mean-
There's
would you
that
go-
one guy who saw Endgame like 1,000 times or something.
I mean, no, I'm not gonna be able to do that, but maybe like,
Would you go around the country seeing different Marvel movies in different venues?
well, no, I suppose not.
I
but
mean,
I don't know.
it's not
Some
just
people
an-
just get touched by.
It's just a resource,
music
like
and-
investing the resources of taking the time, the energy, and the money to travel to go. I mean, it's dedication, and
Yeah.
I can personally say I'm not dedicated to anything that much. maybe my babies, I would follow them everywhere.
That's
if they
awesome.
became musicians, I would then tour the country.
They're gonna
and
love
watch
that in
them.
a few years.
Mama #1 fan with her
Yeah.
sign. You're doing so good. I love you so much.
Once they start becoming tweens, you're not
Hey.
gonna be able to do that anymore.
No kidding.
I'll do it.
See what I did there?
I'll do it still.
See what I'm going.
I see what Eric's
See what I'm
doing.
going for.
I see what Eric's doing it because the next movie is about tweens. Hopefully that doesn't sound strange because the movie
that's
is
always
Good
been a
Boys.
weird word.
That still sounds
I
weird.
don't
Dang,
like that
not
word.
teens and not children, the in-betweeners.
They even
Yeah,
called
I get
themselves.
it. It's
They
supposed to be
do call
between-
themselves tweens in the movie. So
Yeah, do
Really?
they
kids
accept
that
the
age
word.
call themselves tweens unironically?
No, but these kids are very different than most other.
Because their lines are written by adults.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, like in real life, I'm just wondering. I don't think that's a thing.
No,
They don't call
they don't. They
themselves
don't call
tweens.
themselves tweens.
No way.
But it is funny though, because like one of the lines, one of them is like, "We're tween." I forget what like the
We're not kids. We're tweens.
something like that. But how he says it is so funny though, to where it's like.
For those of you that don't
says
realize, we're talking
tweens.
about Good Boys now.
Yeah, Eric tried to help transition that,
Yeah.
but it went off the rails real quick.
Super
Kyle's
bad
show
for
today.
Super bad for tweens.
Yeah, you could say. Yeah, I mean, you could say like that. It's weird that it's a coming of age movie, but it is for like 11 to 12-year-olds, but it's an R-rated comedy, so like you can't really show that demographic.
Oh, they're gonna see it.
Probably with like their
They're
parents,
gonna
I'm
see it.
sure, but
Everybody in my
for the
like,
most part, like they can't really go see the movie.
everyone
so,
in my
like-
middle school saw Superbad when that came out.
Yeah.
Everybody did in my like 6th grade, 7th grade class.
Yeah, probably the same for me, and I just didn't know.
You were like lame if you didn't if you hadn't seen it. And I hadn't seen it yet.
I was definitely lame.
I
No
watched it
wonder
in
you're
secret
so
at my
cynical now.
I watched it in secret in my friend's basement. When
Nice.
the DVD
Did you
came
feel
out.
really guilty? Like, did you need to go home and tell your mom?
No.
I saw it. I saw it, Mom. It was yucky.
I thought it was super funny. But yeah, how was Good Boys?
It's really funny.
Is it?
No, it is. Like it honestly is really funny, and I know why you're being cynical
I
because
just feel like it's easy to predict it being a one joke type movie.
it really isn't. I mean, yes, like it shows him like playing with a dildo, and
Well, I
they're
mean, all
swinging
those
on a
things from the
sex swing, and
trailers.
they're swearing. Like, yes, it's there, but like the comedy actually is a lot funnier. Other than that, it does like those jokes don't become dry, and there's a lot more humor than just like raunchy. Oh look, 12-year-olds with dildos humor. Like there is actually some
Oh
really
my
good
gosh.
funny lines that don't rely on that.
Kyle just said dildos like 3 times.
I
in
know.
that. It's,
He said it in his
podcast.
review.
Just as
too.
a reference.
Did you have to write it in your review?
Oh,
Yeah, I
it's
wrote
written
it.
out.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. We are professionals here. We are
That's what
very
they're called.
professional.
No, we're not.
You could call them marital aids.
Is that what it says on the box?
It just sounds worse.
Triple XL pink marital aid.
Or marital toys.
Yeah,
Is he-
no.
A lot
I'm
of times
calling,
it's not for marital purposes. It's like, you know.
I'm calling them dildos. I think that's socially acceptable.
Oh no, this is the dildo podcast.
But the big reason, going back to the movie, why that humor is working so well is because these three actors are really charismatic together, and they're able to make these lines really funny. Like, they have some really good comedic timing and chemistry between each other. And I think it's not just an R-rated comedy that's relying on, the humor that you're thinking that it is, because it does surprisingly have like a good message about friendship and how friendships evolve as you become your own person
They fade
and
away.
growing up. And I think it really hits home because like you feel for their relationships so much.
Yeah.
That towards the tail end, when you see them like learning that this is a possibility for their friendship, like it drives it more home, and it becomes a more heartfelt story than you expect it to be. So it's a lot more than just, saying the F word as a 12-year-old and all this sort. Like there's a lot more to it, and
Was it
I think
weird-
people will be able to appreciate that.
Was it weird seeing Jacob Tremblay in that role? And
No,
not being
actually.
like the little boy. And
No, I thought it would, but
Yeah.
it wasn't.
would it go against my mom's sensibilities? Would I just find it funny, or would I be like, no, not my babies? One
No,
day?
I think you'll go with the baby route, but I think you will like the message.
You go with the
though.
baby route for everything.
I do.
Yeah, I could see you doing it here, which is understandable. Like, I do think that some people won't be able to like that, and that's fine. That's
Really?
understandable, but
feel
I
like
do
it's
think the
not that
message
controversial.
I mean, not controversial, but I do think there's,
Do kids
a
not
big
cuss in your middle
audience.
school?
No.
No.
Wait, wait,
I
what?
don't know. I don't
Every
remember.
kid was cussing when I was in by the time I was in third grade.
I was in middle school in the late 90s. We had fun nights. That's all I remember from middle school.
It was a different
It
time.
was called Fun Night, and it was a school dance. And yeah,
And there was no swearing at the school
I
dances?
don't remember swearing.
Yeah, no, kids have been swearing for as long as I can remember.
Yeah, it's just a natural thing. But anyway, I'm not saying it's going to be a controversial movie and that's going to cause riots.
That
but
wasn't the
it's-
right word to use. But
I just think there are people that are not going to want to see 12-year-olds swear.
No,
very,
there's not.
very, yeah.
I had to watch that trailer next to a mentor who is very reserved and conservative and like a
Oh,
dad
yeah.
figure to me, and I had to watch that raunchy red band trailer with the dildos or marital aids flopping around, and it was very uncomfortable. So yes, some people are not
He
going to
should
enjoy that.
Learn to laugh at some things. I'm assuming that there's great scenes.
If it was
Something about the movie and the premise. Do each of the three kids have their respective parents or guardians?
Yep.
And are there great interactions with them and their guardians?
Yeah, there are actually.
is his mama really his best friend?
Well, yeah, you can see it.
I can't wait to see that.
You can
part.
see it.
I
He's
want to
so-
see the movie for that.
He's so funny. All three of them were so hilarious. I'm serious when I say almost every joke works. Just about every joke was able to land, and I
I'm
don't
gonna
know.
have
The
to-
last were infectious too, and the last couple of comedies, some of them have been good, but not to the extent of having the laughs where I got out of this one.
Kyle's
Maybe
talk-
except for Booksmart, but
Kyle's talking it up. I'm gonna have to
Just
see
saying,
it.
it's-
Don't
To
me, the
disappoint me,
funniest-
Kyle.
it's funny. It's
Funniest movies I've seen this year are probably also my three favorites. These aren't necessarily considered comedy movies,
Yeah.
but I thought Once Upon a Time, Toy Story 4, and Midsommar were the three funniest movies.
not book. Wait, did you see Booksmart?
Oh
You
yeah, I
saw
saw Booksmart. I keep
Yeah.
forgetting about Booksmart.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a blasphemous thing to say because
It's so
everybody loves
good.
it and I loved it
I haven't
too.
got to see it yet.
but I
I missed
keep
that one.
forgetting
I
about it.
regret it because I really wanted to see it.
Yeah, yeah. but-
Really, Toy Story? You thought was
Toy Story
funny?
4 is hilarious.
Yeah, it is. It is
all
weirdly
through-
funny.
throughout
with
the
its dark
only-
humor.
All of them are.
The only scene that I laughed out loud of was when the one, I don't know whatever it was at the end,
The RV.
the RV scene where they
Yeah.
kept
Oh, yeah,
messing
yeah.
with
That
the
scene's also
wires.
That scene's hilarious.
Like,
but
we're gonna get
it's
dad
just
in trouble.
It's just the sincerity and all the different characters, like Duke Kaboom, just so dedicated to
I guess he
redeeming
that was good.
himself, and Buzz is just total sincerity and believing
Yeah.
his inner voice 110%. It's these
guess
guys
that
are
one
so
was pretty
adorable.
good.
They believe everything.
My children saw it and they're young, and they love Forky, and they go trash, trash.
Forky's the best.
And they
Forky
they
4
will
is probably
play-
the funniest movie of the year.
They will play with a Forky, and they will go trash, trash. And I just don't know why that resonated with them so much, but it did.
They get it. They
Trash,
understand.
no. Trash, no.
It's already working its magic.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. But yeah,
Cool.
that was Good Boys.
So of those
Okay.
3 movies, which would you say was the best?
Well, between Good Boys and Blinded by the Light, probably Blinded by the Light.
Cool.
But again, that's mostly because like I've really been a fan of like
It's
the
because-
feel good movies this year, so I might be more drawn to that than
The
a
lack
straight
of
up
marital
comedy.
AIDS probably puts it up a little higher, right?
It could have
No,
used
AIDS
more
can
dildos.
make any movie better.
Could use more dildos. That's the
Blinded
only
by the Light could use
criticism.
more I feel bad for saying that because it
There's
is
just
really
like
good.
2 dildos just like in the background on his dresser.
He's like, I want to go watch
Have-
Bruce Springsteen perform, and there's just a dildo hanging on
In
like a
his
bookshelf.
It's in his parents' bedroom.
I feel bad for making those jokes because it is a good movie.
Nothing wrong with dildos.
No, nothing wrong at all.
Oh gosh.
But yeah, those were the 3 that I saw, and 2 of them are coming out now.
Right.
So
Today.
Today.
yeah, today,
Well, I'm
Blind by the Light and Good Boys.
I'm excited. I'm gonna have to see Good Boys, and I'll let you guys know if it offended my mom's sensibilities or if I could push that away.
If you're
and
cool, mom, it won't offend you.
I don't think I'm a cool mom. I think
Oh.
I'm a lovey, like
You can be a
smoochy
lovey.
baby
You can be a
mom.
lovey, caring, nurturing mom and a cool mom at the same time.
I'll try. I
This
don't
is
know.
the test.
I don't know if you know or not if you're a cool mom.
No.
Is that a label that people put on you? Like,
Well, I'm
Can
not
I be
anyone's
like,
mom, so I can't
I'm
speak
gonna
on
be
behalf.
a cool mom now. I
You
don't
can't
think-
consciously be a cool mom because
I
then it'll be
do-
cringy.
I do. I don't
True.
think I'm cool mom, but we call in my family, I'm fun dad.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Sure.
Every family has
If you're-
the fun dad
Yeah, if you're
that
fun
does
dad,
stuff.
you're cool mom.
I am fun dad
Fun
for
dad
sure.
equals cool mom.
I get called that all the time.
There you go. Then you won't be offended by this movie.
Okay.
You already know.
Yeah, I think that's a good way of looking at it.
So other than those 2, what else? Is there anything new coming?
40 Meters Down
47.
Uncaged
Oh, yeah.
and Where'd You Go, Bernadette, along with Angry Birds Movie 2, which premiered on Tuesday for
Yeah.
reasons.
Yeah, that's really confusing. I wish studios wouldn't do that.
We're gonna
If
get
they're
a big head start on these other movies.
yeah,
Everyone's gonna flock to
no
this
one,
movie on
no,
a Tuesday.
no one has been conditioned to go midweek
No.
to movies
Yeah.
unless
Tuesday's
there's
like
a
the
holiday.
day DVDs come out.
Yeah,
Like that's what people
Really,
think
though.
of. Like, oh, Tuesday, new releases that I can watch at home.
right. They don't think like, let me go. It's Tuesday night. Let's go to the theater for something new.
It is
I love
getting,
going to the
it is
theater on
getting better
Tuesdays,
reception than the first movie, though. So maybe Sony
I
was
love
like,
the
"Hey,
first
let's,
I've read
movie.
several
bank on
articles
this."
when all of their headlines are kind of similar. It's like, this just in, Angry Birds movie 2, not consistently terrible, or like not actively horrible.
I
Yeah.
didn't think the first one was that bad. In fact, I've had to watch it a lot, and I've grown to really like it.
Stockholm syndrome.
Could be. Could be. There's actually quite a bit of adult humor in it.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Dirty humor. If there was animated dildos, I wouldn't be surprised in some scenes.
I think there are in the second one.
There are in the
Yeah, I
second
think there's
one?
a few. I think there's a few dildos.
Nah. Are you just telling me
No,
that?
there's totally dildos.
I don't believe you now.
Yeah, it's in that like evil
I'm
green bird's lair,
This is entertaining.
like frozen
There's
in the
not
ice in
an
the
evil green
background.
bird. There's an
In the
evil,
trailer,
There's an evil green pig and an evil
is he
purple.
Okay, yeah, the purple one, the bird in the frozen lair.
You're gonna lie. You
The
gotta be
dildo.
really
There's
good.
dildos frozen in a sheet of ice on the wall. You can see it. If you pause it right.
Oh, no.
I was entertained by that. That was good.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Could be wrong.
Yeah, so I mean, there's a lot of releases this weekend. Whichever one you choose, have fun. I
Yeah,
guess.
this is
I
pretty
don't know.
much. I mean, last week Kyle and I were talking about how that was kind of the last free week before school gets back in session, because I feel
Yeah.
like this weekend a lot of people are going to do last minute back to school shopping,
Yep.
preparation, things like
Mhm.
that, and then
Basically,
maybe next week too. I don't know. Different
well,
schools start at different times.
Yeah, and there's some people that have started school already. But I think Labor Day weekend is the last big weekend of summer. That kind of like signifies the end of summer, and
I think
that's
everything's kind of winding down now.
that's
though.
coming up. Not this weekend or next weekend, but the weekend after. So
Summer's so weird when you're not like in school.
I know, right?
You just like
It
think
just-
like,
it just
there's
feels
probably
like a
so
normal
many
day.
kids out hanging with the neighborhood kids, having adventures.
Well, now my children are in school, so I'm back in the routine.
Oh, so they are in school now?
Yeah.
Already?
Well, no.
Oh, in
Like,
the routine?
They haven't started. They won't
Oh,
start till after.
Oh, okay.
They won't start till after Labor Day.
Okay.
They do. They go that kind of short week after Labor Day to get, so they don't
Mhm.
have to have a full week. So they'll start after then.
Cool.
But I don't. It stresses me out because at this point I still don't know who my son's teacher is.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I always remember running up to the door and checking to see.
I remember there
they
was a
would-
list too.
Yeah, they posted them in like the lobby window or something.
Maybe I should go by and check the school. They mailed us who your teacher was when he started kindergarten. But
Yeah, we always just went up to the school. Like, it wasn't even inside the school. It was posted like outside the entrance.
yeah, maybe I'll check out the school.
And you scan the names like, ooh, I hope I'm in class with this guy or this person.
Yeah.
I do remember
All your
that too,
friends.
because if you got the classmates you're not familiar with and you're screwed
That's
the
what
rest of the
Oh, yeah.
school year,
That's
you're
what I
like,
do
This
remember."
is going to be a bad,
Right.
third grade. Or
That's what I
whatever.
remember about middle school was getting lunch at the same time as your friends because they had 2 lunches. And
Ooh, lunches.
yeah, they had an early lunch and a late lunch. Not
Did
the
we
kids.
have
Kids didn't all go to lunch at the same time.
My high school used to
I
have
can't
that,
remember.
but things switched up.
yeah.
Maybe my middle
Changes
school
went
did that.
down.
I don't know.
So
I just remember there was like a 3-year stretch where like all like 4 or 5 of my friends were in the same class and I was never with them. I was like, are you serious right now?
Yeah,
a lot
that
of
was
growing
always,
up.
that was always the worst. Yeah, I get it.
That
It's like they're
was-
going to become such better friends with each other than me.
that was the divine trying to tell you to make new friends.
No, I have not.
I have
I
not.
still haven't.
I still have it. All because of that traumatic
I
experience.
leeched on and never let go. You will never leave me again.
Oh, school.
Yeah, so hopefully kids will have fun at school and be able to be with their friends in class.
And behave just like the boys in Good Boys.
Exactly.
It's good.
Not mine.
It happens every year. That's what
It's
they
not
do.
my babies. I think I'm just sensitive to it because I'm a mom of boys. So if
They're gonna be like
That's
that.
going to be a huge part.
yeah,
You'll
they're
like
so
it.
sweet and so loving.
For
And they're gonna
now.
have their
For
birthday.
now.
So are these good boys.
They're
They actually are very sweet and loving.
Okay, good.
And they're very woke.
Yeah, that's like it's like probably half the joke is like these boys are so out of their element. It's like
Yeah.
we're nice, sweet, good boys, but we have to do this.
I'm gonna make my
But
boys.
we have to swing a dildo
I've-
around.
I've decided. I'm gonna make my boys ultra nerds, so that way they just
You
want to stay
can't
home.
make them.
Oh, I'm gonna push it.
Then they're gonna hate it,
No,
and then it'll be the complete opposite. They'll
You
be
know,
Oh,
most parents
it's already,
push.
It's already
they'll turn
starting.
into true Kyles.
My
What's wrong with that?
I play video
Um,
games with
a
my
lot.
sons, and we play superheroes. And oh yeah, I'm just gonna get them into fandoms and get them excited.
Don't make them the cynical fandom type.
No,
Toxic.
Toxic. Yeah, that's a better word.
oh no,
And that's not bad
I don't
though.
think I'm a toxic person. So I hope it not. I'm not gonna raise toxic people.
Make them very well aware of internet communities.
Oh, I'm gonna keep them off the internet as
They'll
long
get
as I
on the
can.
internet. That's a good.
No.
I wish you luck.
Yeah, that's gonna be a massive hard thing to do, but I gotta preserve their innocence as long as I can.
Have you thought about when you're gonna get them cell phones, or when they're allowed to have cell phones? Smartphones.
Can I make it high school? Is that
I didn't get my
even
first cell phone
reasonable?
until high school.
That's when I got mine.
Yeah, but that was also a different time for
Yeah,
us.
That was a Nokia phone that
I
Not
think
for
didn't
me.
flip or
I
anything.
had a Voyager.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I had one of those indestructible Nokia ones that I still have to this day. It probably will still work.
My dad had one of those type of phones for a while. Like, he doesn't flip open or anything.
No,
it's
it's
just
just-
a brick.
It-
You can
yeah.
play Snake on it and like the Doodle.
I couldn't even
thing.
text because back then texting cost 25 cents a letter or something ridiculous like that.
Jeez.
Well, that's where the short form, like BTWB or
Yeah.
whatever.
Oh,
That's
out
where
of
that came from.
necessity.
hmm
That's interesting.
I lived that time. I never was allowed to text, so I didn't. So I called people. I love calling people. And I remember
Scary.
walking around my backyard on the phone with my friends, talking about boys. Good times. So innocent.
So they're never getting a phone.
Probably not. I'm gonna
Get him a flip phone, track phone.
I'm gonna get him one of those old people like Bumble phones where it's just huge numbers.
Jitterbug?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I
All
had
they
a
could
phone
do
that
is
was
make
not too far off from that.
calls to like 4 numbers and that's it. And
Like I accidentally flushed my phone, so I had to get a replacement, and it was like as close to a jitterbug as you could get without being an actual jitterbug, and I
Yeah.
loved it.
the simplicity of it.
I should have flushed my phone years ago.
It's just that you're done on talking or doing something, you just clank it
Oh,
shut.
I love flip phones.
I need one.
I saw a girl walking and talking on a flip phone. I'm like, oh, that's a flip phone. Oh, she's gonna close it like this.
Ooh, just wait for it. Wait for
I
it.
wanted to watch her to get off the phone just to have that. Like,
She might also be a drug dealer because she doesn't want anyone tracking her calls.
Those
It's a
burners.
burner
It's a
phone.
burner.
Hey, God bless them.
Yeah,
Keeping the cell phones alive and strong.
They have the right idea.
I definitely got to get my kids a cell phone. They can't not have one just for
Give 'em a
pure.
pager.
It'll be in
But then what do they call me on?
They don't.
the
You
Then-
just tell them. You give them instructions, and they
payphones.
listen.
They listen. All the payphones out there that
Yeah.
exist.
I love
There are
payphones.
some in Yellowstone National Park. I know
Yeah.
that. I found one
yeah.
in the wild.
I love them. Well, I think we're done talking about
Yeah.
movies.
We got.
Oh yeah, we were talking about that,
sidetracked.
weren't we?
Well,
No, it's all related to Good Boys.
yeah.
Sure, we can say that.
And I'm gonna go see the Good Boys this weekend. So
Cool. I might try and see Blinded by the Light just because I love the boss. So we'll see.
Oh, you'll love the boss even more after this.
Oh, I know.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Cool. Well, yeah, I guess that wraps it up.
yeah, that
Yeah.
was a good one. Good one, guys. Good job.
Thank
High fives
you.
all
Good job,
around.
team.
Woo.
Yeah, so all the movies that were just talked about are up on silverscreeninsider.com plus
Yep.
our podcast and many other
Yeah, there's-
movie insider information.
There's some trailers on there that we just didn't talk about. You maybe should go check out.
Missing out on
Like,
some gold.
Little Women.
Yeah.
is a good one. It's got Cersei.
It's Greta
Saoirse.
Gerwig's
Saoirse.
Lady
Yeah.
Bird follow-up.
I'm gonna say Cersei now because of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
So I've gotten past Soros, and now it's gonna be Cersei.
I forgot about
Saoirse.
Soros, yeah.
Saoirse and Rowan,
Ronan, I think.
Ronan,
Saoirse
whatever,
Ronan.
and Emma
Rowan.
Watts.
Sin?
Son.
Emma Watts is a different woman.
That is the CEO or whatever of
What?
Fox that's going over to Disney.
Emma Watts is also another actress.
Oh, Emma Watson, and who else is?
Laura Dern, Florence Pugh,
Yeah.
Meryl Streep.
Oof, I love Florence Pugh so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's awesome. And Chalamet, Timothy Chalamet.
Oh yeah, he's the love
Meryl
interest.
Streep,
Mm-hmm.
Laura Dern. I think you just said those names.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was thinking of the older ones.
Oh, and Bob Odenkirk is in there, I'm pretty sure.
What?
Not in the trailer, but I think he is in that movie.
Oh, I love Bob Odenkirk.
So,
I don't know
Yeah.
who that is.
You'd recognize his face.
Oh.
yeah, you've seen him around.
So yeah, that trailer's on there, and
Last Christmas,
yeah, maybe
that one
check
looks-
that one out.
good. Yeah.
Henry Golding was just tapped to be Snake Eyes.
Yeah.
So,
Henry Golding is in Last Christmas.
Yeah.
To get that
So-
connection.
So go check that out. Anyways, go educate yourself on the films.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
All on Silver Screen
Apparently, I
Insider.
need to
Tell you
do the
everything
same
about it.
thing.
Well, I think we're done now.
Yes. We're done for the day. Goodbye.
Okay, goodbye.
Have a good weekend.